Hello everyone, we're back here at the Battle of Talavera. We're about to start the 8:30 p.m. turn on the 27th of July, which is the first day still. And as you can see, just by having a quick pan over things, quite a lot's changed since my last update. We've had a bit of action. So let's take a little bit of a tour, see where we are. Now the French have been doing really well with their reinforcement rolls. As you can see right down here, we've got Sebastiani and 4th Corps who have marched onto the map and have stopped because they have no orders. So they're just waiting there. They haven't been able to roll initiative. Last turn, King Joseph, who's off the map but is allowed to start trying to direct the army from off the map, has sent them some orders which they should receive this turn. And we'll see if they accept them or if they get delayed. Now the French have captured Casa de Salinas. They've been moved. They moved down. The 1st Corps moved down to the Vargas Road here, and they've attacked up the Vargas Road. Victor has been keeping that going strong. Here they are at the moment. Their current orders are to capture the crossroads here, which they have done. To keep moving up. 1st Division here under La Peace is to move up to here and capture the Cerro Cascayal. And the rest of Victor's Corps is going to move up to here and stop up here, 2630. Hex 2630, so they're here. As you can see in front of them, we have Mackenzie's 3rd Division has been falling back. Mackenzie's division is wrecked. They're falling back. Hopefully they'll be able to, they're meant to set up here where Mackenzie is, within 2 hexes of where Mackenzie is here. So hopefully they'll set up along here. And while they're there, they'll try and recover stragglers. We're about to go into night, so it gets a little bit easier trying to recover some stragglers and reduce their wreck status. We've still got the cavalry. Payne's cavalry is still hanging around. There's been some charges and counter charges. The heavy cavalry here, did a massive charge on the French 24th line, which is a part of Lepice's division. Unfortunately for the French, they didn't form square. Well, they did form square, but they were they didn't stand. They started to run, and when that happens, the cavalry can smash into them. The cavalry is allowed to do 1 successful charge, and then it gets to do up to 3 follow-on charges, which is what they did, and they completely annihilated the 24th line, who have lost everything but 1 square to permanent casualties, and they have 1 square of stragglers. So they could come back, but they would only have 1 square of health, basically, which means they wouldn't last very long in battle, but they could be important. At the moment, though, they're not coming back. Now, down here we've got you can see Wellesley has moved over to here. We've got the British line, who have all extended out. And we've got Sherbrooke's 1st Division, which is where the King's German Legion and the Guards are. Probably the best British troops. So they're sitting there waiting for the French. We've got Hill up here on the Cerro de Medellin, just watching things. Now down here, we've got the 1st Dragoons, and they came onto the map and moved up to this point here, and then had to wait new orders. They managed to get initiative, and they've moved up to here, and then now they're waiting. I think they'll just wait there for night time. We've also got the 2nd Dragoons here, who are protecting the Royal Road. In the campaign, you have to have troops protecting this road, because the French were worried about there was nothing between the armies and Madrid, basically, and they wanted to keep that protected. Now, Sebastiani, when he accepts his orders from King Joseph, has been told to march along here and to move up to here, basically, sort of up around here, set up around here. And then with Victor sort of up here, I'm trying to work out what the best way to attack will be on the next day. At this stage, we're all just trying to get our lines. I don't think there's going to be any or much fighting. We haven't really got to the lines yet. Then once night falls, which is next turn, the visibility is pretty poor. So I don't think there's going to be any fighting. Everyone's going to probably just settle in, reorganize their lines, grab any stragglers they can, and get ready for a hard day's fighting. Now, Wellesley is also asked to borrow the Spanish 5th Division, which is probably their best division, sort of sitting in reserve here. But to do that, he has to have the division commander accept the orders, which the division commander has accepted the orders. But Cuesta also has to accept the orders, and he's on a D5, delay 5. So every turn, we've got to roll more than 5 or more, and then he'll accept the orders. And once he accepts the orders, then the Spanish division will be able to move. They've been told to move up to here, Casa de Valdefuentes, to sort of set themselves up here and help support Mackenzie, because he does need some help, probably protecting himself from the French Victor's Corps, which looks like it could come in quite powerfully through this area here. They get in here behind the British lines, or they pound through Sebastiani, who manages to get through 1st Division here. It could be quite dangerous if they could split the two armies. There isn't a lot here. I reckon Campbell here is going to have to extend his lines a bit to try and fill this little gap here. The Allied lines are behind the Portina, which is a little creek stream that goes up along here. The main advantage of it is the cavalry can't charge across it, and if they do cross it, they become shaken as well, which is a little bit of a small negative modifier when they're rolling for their charges. So that's sort of, I know that's only a small thing, but every little bit helps when you're in this sort of position. Down here in front of Talavera, hasn't been much happening. If the French completely forget about this area, I may try and get Cuesta to start attacking with his troops and see if they can push back some French or force the French to focus on this area. At the moment, it isn't really. It is sort of following historical lines. Mackenzie's falling back to the thing. Victor's chasing him. What happens historically is Mackenzie sort of sets up back here as a sort of a reserve, and the cavalry set up here to sort of protect that area. Victor gets Ruffin to attack the Serra de Medellin just before nightfall, so they were sort of set up by now. We got a bit delayed. That didn't quite happen. Victor took a while to get himself together once he'd achieved his first objective. So he attacks across here, gets beaten back. And then night falls. The next day he again attacks. But this time the British are ready and send it back. And Sebastiani sort of pounds here and then tries to get across here. So we're sort of in historical territory here. As you can see, the French are moving up. Nothing spectacular. They've got some skirmishes out. The British skirmishers have fallen back and the skirmishers aren't probably going to be needed, or they might come down here along the river line and just snipe the Allied troops here. Could be a bit of a pain in the neck. But the English could always send out their skirmishers, of course, and a little bit of a skirmish war. So that's sort of where we're at. It'll be interesting to see whether Sebastiani accepts his orders. Where is he? There he is. Whether he accepts his orders this turn or during the night or something, or as morning breaks and he's still sitting here. If he's still sitting here in the morning, it's going to take a while for the French to get moving and get him up along the front lines up here. Or we just try and send him around the top and come across. I'm not sure. Or smash him through the Spanish. They're all possibilities. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But for now, I'll leave it there and I'll get back to you with my next update.